The Quetza Quicks need a draw or better to secure a place in the post-season Blood Bowl Championship. A defeat would most likely see the Torlethanel Rangers qualify instead. It is mathematically possible for the Mavericks to reach the Blood Bowl themselves, but they require an 8-touchdown victory to overhaul the Rangers' superior touchdown difference. To make things even more difficult, the Mavericks are down to just 2 rostered blitzers as their injury crisis continues, and one of those, Pon Dodley, may need recuperate to play after suffering a 4th permanent injury of the season against the Desperados. The Quicks, meanwhile, are fully fit after their narrow loss to the Espinal Enchanters in the last round. The match between these two teams last season ended in a 2-0 victory for the Mavericks. So, the only thing we know for sure is that Vinscore Defiant can't qualify. But other than that, the Quicks just need a point or a win and they will be in. If they lose, the Rangers will be in unless the Mavericks win by 8 clear touchdowns, in which case they'll be in. Does that all make sense, Viking Cop?
It does. And it also means that it is doable for the Mavericks. Never say never, even if it's an even season.
We just need 4-0 in the first half and 4-0 in the second half. It's a touchdown every 2 turns, but we don't stall here in the ZFL, so it should be easy as anything. Let's get into it then. And we can enjoy this inevitable 8-0 victory for the Miszville Mavericks. So these are two teams who have probably ended up a little disappointed with their respective seasons. I think that might be fair to say. The Mavericks having won the Howitzer Cup in 24-93 and only losing the Elite Division to the Celtics in the final game of the season. It's not been so good this time around. It was only 1 game ago that they mathematically confirmed that they would still be in the Elite Division next season. And yet they do have a mathematical chance of top 3 because it's very, very close in the midfield. The Quicks started the season very well, but it's all fallen to bits, really, since the Quicks curse has kicked in the mid to late part of the season. And Viking Cop, our old friend, is back again.
Oh, yes. I mean, he's permanently part of the league. We should have something like a Mighty Chook trophy at the end of the season or something like that. That is the game in which he performed better or even worse.
Zog's getting as much payment as Viking Cop is for the appearances on the ZFL show. He's here every week.
Which is basically nothing.
All right, let's take a look
at... You can send the Cheetos, eh? Maybe
yes,
someday.
Certainly. Let's take a look at the two teams then. The Quetza Quicks in their final game of the season, unless they get a point, in which case they will be in the Blood Bowl. Borat Lightnix, the Croxagore, has basically done nothing all season. And that is very on brand.
He has boneheaded a lot.
Yes, that is him. The Saurus, Volvoexy, is the clear star of the team. Namakuix is potentially a future star of the team. Yukika Danmi is sidestep and fend, which has its uses, I suppose. Velatrix is wrestle, tackle, pile driver, 2/3 of which has its uses, I suppose. Kupal Azteca is wrestle guard, and Crespa Talipo is block guard, which is quite good. Chatukul, the touchdown scoring / tackle skink. You can see that he does all of the work with the ball because he's got all the SPP. El Rasco is the fowler. Umizumi is the rookie. For Fiesta kicks and then doesn't do much. Tarso Obvio does actually do stuff with Dauntless. And Vivi Polo, I have no note at all on this player.
Vivi Polo, I think it's new. It's a new skink in the roster.
Yeah, might have played last week. 13 players. That's a big damage. 13 players. That's a big damage. 13 players. 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 13
If he played last week, I don't remember.
So the Quicks in comparison to last season.
Quite difficult.
Go on, say that again.
No, I was just saying is that it's been fairly quite busy last weeks, let's say, to remember everything happening. But yeah, you were also going to say about the comparison of the roster between this season and last.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've not had anywhere near as many deaths as they had in 24-93. Convoluted Quicks death law was a thing. But this season, it's been more convoluted Quicks failure law, which is still a thing, I suppose.
Yeah, and that rate of survival has even allowed them to place 2 of these players in the MVP selection award, which is impressive.
It is indeed. I guess the shame for the Quicks is that they are skinks who were up for the MVP. If the Saurus were up for it, you would suggest they would have had a very good season. But alas, not to be. Here's the Mavericks then. Or, I should say, here is what's left of the Miszville Mavericks. Onions, the ogre, is still knocking about. He's so close to block, he can almost taste it. Ren Redrum and Pon Dodley are the 2 remaining blitzers. Redrum is the sort of diving tackle, sidestep, break tackle type. And Pon Dodley is much more traditional, but he's hurt quite a bit this season. Ricky Ratchet comes in for a debut in this final game of the season, looking to earn a contract for next season. He has the tackle skill. Johan Franz is the leader with double movement up. Then we're into a bunch of linemen. Gilbert L. Wise has tackle. Philbert Hughes has dirty player. Tommy Taffy has block, which is nice. Jean Blag doesn't have anything except a bad arm. Hank the Tank has wrestle. And Finn Farquad has strip ball. Hubert Dankworth is the catcher with Bloodstep, who has let the team down on a fair few occasions this season, it has to be said. Harvey Red Radish is the one-turn threat, who I don't think we have seen do a single thing all season. Bobby Beef Brisket is a fend lineman, and the Mighty Zug makes yet another appearance for the Mavericks for lots of teams. A bribe and an assistant coach, the other 2 inducements. Let's get this one underway.
I wonder how much gold has Zug managed to make this season, playing for like almost every ZFL team. But at least it feels like that.
He's been everywhere. He has been everywhere, Zug, this season. And I can't remember him doing much. He's got a couple of removals here and there, but I can't remember a game where Zug has like absolutely dominated and we would remember it as a memorable performance.
You know, it's because he's not a mega star, so he's not going to have memorable performances. He may have solid performances. He's a strength 5 player. As a roadblock, he works very well as a support piece, but he's never going to make fancy pieces or fancy plays. He's going to... Oh, immediate catch. Nice one.
Deep kick, high kick, caught by Chatu Cool. That's why he's up for the MVP award. And the Quicks are underway, making blocks in the early part of this game. Tommy Taffy with block on the line there. Maybe a blitz from Namakiewicz. Clearly we favour the tackle over the block in this game with all these skinks knocking around. Knockdown there from Valatrix. We should say the Mavericks do have 4 players on the bench, so they've got numbers, even if those numbers are mainly human linemen.
Yeah, and as you said, there are some old names that are lost to the mists of time and to death mainly, but there will be also new ones that we may start learning for the next season. And there's a 3 dive from Borilatix producing a push.
He's not very good, that Croxigo, is he? Here comes El Rasco for the foul on Tommy Taffy. We'd like to get that block off the field. Ooh. And El Rasco strikes early on.
El Rasco strikes again, and it's a removal with no send-off. El Rasco, remember, candidate to MVP of the season, really putting the pain in a lot of Elite Division teams.
Mighty Zug going for the Crocs, rolling a double push. That won't get the job done. The problem for the Mavericks now is they used to be a very guard-heavy team, but most of that guard is now dead. So that does make things a little bit more difficult for them. They've got Onions and they've got the perma-injured Pon Dodley. He's got 3 serious injuries and a head injury, has Pon. Nice dodge from Hank the Tank. And Onions is going to move across the centre of the field. Hughes is going to stay put for the time being. But it might be that the Croxagore fancies a look at the mighty Zug here. Blitz from Volvo XT takes down Philbert Hughes.
It's looking like that. I wondered if we are also searching for the foul. Potential foul on the Mighty Chuk. This can be a foul on Mighty Chuk. I don't know if it's a good one. No, it doesn't look like it.
His leg's a bit shaky. He's not used to that. Here comes El Rasco. We're going for the dirty play instead.
Oh
and El Rasco
my goodness,
means business today.
My goodness, 2 out already. This player has been the real killer of the Elite Division.
2 fouls, 2 serious injuries on a team that cannot afford more serious injuries, and that's
a 1 in 9 because we don't have block. And Tarso Ovio is fine with that. We are not going to push a little bit to pressure the ball. And we are going to base everything. Okay, that's ballsy.
Well,
but the Mavericks are already low in numbers.
I was going to say, what's more dead Mavericks at this point? What does it matter?
Oh my goodness. We are going to force the 1 in 9.
Johan Franz.
You trust Franz to get the job done.
Although actually with the blitz, and Johan Franz is immediately knocked to the floor. Armor break.
Well, Rasco is around. Well, the Rasco does not have a job to do in there.
Franz is gone. That's a big removal.
Well, there's going to be some punching there.
So that's one of basically 4 or 5 positionals off the field.
Oh, that was very ballsy. A non-pow. Oh my goodness, another break. A non-pow would have allowed Danworth to base the ball. And that was a double. Oh, that was a riddle, actually.
Double boat down.
We may see a foul in there.
We might be looking for a foul on Zug for sure. I mean, the Mavericks' armor so far has been many, many shades of terrible. There's a 1 in 9 that we can't afford. That's another 1 in 9.
I don't know. That's a base cage in my eyes. That's very risky.
Okay, Obvio's going to come across to cover that. Here goes El Rasco. We want the foul on Dankworth. And El Rasco this time just finds another stone. So the Mavericks already, we believe, cannot make it at the top 3 now because they haven't scored yet. Unless they're going to produce a lot of blitzers or something of that nature. But what they need now is players. They are hemorrhaging players really quickly at the moment. Onions with a block on Borat Latex is going to take the Croxagore down.
He's not going anywhere because of stand firm, good skill. And now bringing Gilbert L. White down, back to support. We have the ball base with tackle.
Yeah, it's something. And the Quicks have burned a couple of rerolls on that last turn. There's a pow on Mighty Zug. And there is a gap in the field here if the Quetza Quicks want to make use of it. Oh, we're going to blitz to the sideline and take down the tackle of, who's that? Gilbert Wise. There's a dodge away from tackle.
Oh, that was a 3+ dodge from tackle.
We want to foul Zug this time, and Zug's dead!
Oh,
my word! El Rasco has killed the mighty Zug.
El Rasco OP. Absolutely OP.
Well, we're going to need to decide if that's law official or not.
My goodness.
Tackle hit on Tarso Obvio as the Mavericks try to fight back in whatever way they can. But it's looking pretty good if you're a Quetza Quicks fan right now.
Oh, no stand firm in there. Interesting. Maybe trying to avoid the foul.
Let's go.
One dice
Hack the tank.
It's really an even season, eh? Really an even season for the Mavericks. Are we going for the surf? Most likely.
The surf on here if we're willing to block with El Rasco.
No, we cannot go for the surf. We want to foul.
El Rasco does take that block, and we are going to go for the surf. Volvoexy will get that done. No, it's the textbook 1 in 9 on the surf attempt. We can't afford to re-roll that. Chatukul moving his way to the end zone, and he's going to hang around. No, he's going to score. Chatukul runs the ball in with the rush, and the Quetza Quicks have the lead. Well, so far, so very, very good. And it does mean that the Miszville Mavericks need 9 touchdowns now if they're going to qualify for the Blood Bowl.
Now that they don't have the Mighty Took anymore, they may able to make it.
Well, hopefully that assistant coach does a thing.
I have a good news for you. You're going to see a halfling on the pitch.
Yes, wow, so many removals. So Harvey Red Radish will come onto the field because Johan Franz remains off it. We do have 11 players because we did have 4 on the bench, but it's a lot of linemen here. Random Boy's promise of 20-0 is out the window, but unless he means 20-0 to the Quicks. The Fisher's ref is going to stun Tarso Obvio in the backfield there. Here come the Mavericks trying to fight back with that block from Ren Redrum. And there's a chance for Pon Dodley to go after the Croxigor. He will do just that. Onions with the blitz here. And Onions finds the pow on Crespa Talipo. Mavericks going fairly aggressive here as they push for a first half equaliser. They've got 3 turns after this one to be able to get that done.
Langworth goes for picking up the ball. He gets the ball. And it's Red Radish now, who's going for a foul. Fouling specialist with sprint.
Oh, he was 1 short of getting that done. As Barrett Latix, Boneheads.
Aha! We love the classics.
Blitz from Volvoexy. He's going to try and take down Gilbert L. Wise, and that will free El Rasco up to do some work elsewhere, perhaps. Good knockdown from Valatrix onto Jean Blag. Could pile drive that. We're opting not to do it, and we just want to instead put some guard around the centre of the field. El Rasco is going to take a dodge for the foul on Gilbert Wise, but nothing doing.
We feared for the life of Gilbert for a moment.
Okay, Ren Redrum trying to make a gap in the field here for the Mavericks to take advantage of.
Makes it, but I don't think if the Mavericks have the players to really push forwards.
We do in here. No,
At
we're not
least
handing
they
it.
have a scoring threat.
Yes. Block from the halfling, Harvey Red Radish here. Nice knockdown on Yukika Danby. And a pow from Hank the Tank as well. Takes down Namakuix. Struggling to find armor breaks at the moment. Our Miszville. Onions doing good work on this
Onions.
one.
Yep.
Oh, 1 in 9 there from Valatrix. That's going to open up more space on that flank. We need to come across and deal with this threat, and Push Skull is not really going to do it.
That was a one-day push from El Rasco, who is now basing onions.
We needed a Soros back across the field here. There's going to be a dodge from Tarso Obvio, and we're going to go and make a little bit of a screen. That does make the situation look a little bit better from a Mavericks perspective. 1 in 9. We'll need the last reroll. We do get the knockdown on Yukika Danmi, which will free up that space. But last reroll gone for Miszville.
I think we are going to see a handoff. No, we're going to see a blitz there. Yeah. Which is going to produce a push only. Ooh, that leaves. Well, that allows for some progress. And some closure of the cage. No, that's not a close cage.
Oh, here comes Harvey Red Radish. He needs to make this dodge to get through the gap. He does make that dodge to get through the gap. And Red Radish can be the final part of that screen. Redrum going forward to be a nuisance because he's a bit of a pain to hit. Oh, nice dodge from Gilbert L. Wise. And we will tie up Volvo actually there as well.
So there's only one free, actually free, Saurus. Or the Quicks, but
there is a dive.
Like there may be a dive in here, yes.
Chatukul with the tackle. It's certainly an option for the dive. Here goes Chatukul. No, he's going to fail. And he's going to stun himself in the process.
Well, that's a surprise.
El Rasco delivers. Chatukul does not.
The Mavericks taking the 3 die.
That's going to be the
no
score.
More remaining rerolls.
Turn 8, Hubert Dankworth runs it in, and the Miszville Mavericks are level. So, good news for the Tall Ethanol Rangers. We can rule the Mavericks out of contention. They still need 8 touchdowns in the second half, so they need 1 touchdown per turn at the going rate. I don't think it's going to happen. So, it's between the Rangers and the Quicks now for that 3rd place. The Quicks just need a draw, but they will give possession back to the Miszville Mavericks here, who get Johan Franz back on his feet. Very, very short, but a high kick. Johan Franz drops it, rolls a 1.
It was going to be either 1 or a 6. It was a 50-50 roll, basically.
So similar setup here to what we had on the last drive. As the Mavericks look to get that block on Borat Latix. It's a double push, which is not a disaster because Pondodley failed, but Onions can have a go. Franz has rolled a 1 on the pickup and gets it at the 2nd time of asking. Borat Latix doing a good job here. Oh, the Quicks. Might be a blitz. There's still a blitz to be taken. It's going to be Hubert Dankworth to get that done. And he finds the knockdown on the Croxigal.
Oh, even the break.
And then some. Wow, big hit from the catcher.
This has to be one of the first breaks from the Mavericks. Oh, there's going to be a foul even.
2 assist foul. Jean Blag coming in for the foul. Referee's going to call that. And argue the call works out. Well, look at that. A snake.
It was a snake.
And then a 6.
Well, the Mavericks will take it.
Again, we're targeting the tackle. Gilbert L. Wise has been a popular blitz target today. But the Quicks looking to just make a wall of Saurus. With the threat of Tarso Obvio, who does have Dauntless around the back. That's something the Mavericks will need to be careful of here. This is good pressure from the Quetza Quicks. I think Chatukul and Ren Redrum are in a forever war now. They're going to be keeping each other company for a while. Johan Franz is going to move backwards. The Mavericks not in a hurry here. And you see the 1 in 9 and an injury to the Dauntless.
Oh! The 1 in 9 worked out.
Ricky Ratchet gets a casualty on his debut.
Good job from Ricky. We cannot call this an unfortunate 1 in 9.
The Quetza Quicks makes that block, which does free up the guard of Crespa Talipo to have a go. He's going to roll a push only as we look to pressure the ball that little bit more. Arm a break from the hit from Danme. And diving tackle is going onto the ball. It's next to tackle as well. El Rasco's on the way forward too to Marco Pubert Dankwith. The Quicks are all in. And that's a 1 in 9 that needs a reroll against For Fiesta. Mavericks down to 2 rerolls now. It's going to be Johan Franz to make the blitz on his own.
This is going to be a potato from the Mavericks, it seems.
Franz is away. He's going to fail a rush. He rolls a 1. He gets a 3. Second time of asking. So Johan Franz is away. Question will be, can the Quicks catch this up? Dodge from El Rasco fails. And that will leave the ball relatively exposed.
What a game for El Rasco today.
Nice chain push that puts Danme in play. Borat Latex. Boneheads. And we re-rolled it. The Croxigal letting us down at the worst possible moment. Chatukul through to help out as well. And it's going to be Kupal Azteca from downtown with the blitz. No, he's going to snake it and kill himself.
The course is back. The course is back. It's really back. It's really back.
Well, would you believe that? Kupal Azteca with a chance to sack the ball. Just needed a couple of rushes, snakes it, and kills himself. Convoluted Quicks death law is back. And boy, have we missed it. Pondodley on Chatukul finds the power on the blodger. And that was a blitz that allows us to come across and take a block on Yahika Danme as well. Johan Franz is free and away, and Johan Franz is going to stall.
No! No, the stall from Franz. Very disappointing. We can start with the booing. Yes. Yes, we can start with the booing. Correct.
Going to be a foul from Jean Blag on Chatukul. Useful KO on the skink. Malvoexy with the knockdown on Bobby Beef Brisket, and he can come back to Saurus to threaten the ball. The Mavericks might have to do something about that. El Rasco on the way back as well. And there's going to be a rush from For Fiesta. He's going to fail that rush. But diving tackle on the 2 linemen there. So Volvoexy will be a little exposed.
El Rasco is a bit open. I wonder if the Mavericks will want to have a word with him.
There'll be a block from Ricky Ratchet. Gets the knockdown on Valatrix. And a both down is a useful result there As we are going to... Where are we going here? Johan Franz is going to make a pass. Nerves of steel. He makes the pass to Ren Redrum. Well, it's a convoluted stall if it's a stall. Onions with the armor break. And Onions gets the KO on the Quicks.
And I think there was no blitz this time from the Mavericks.
Oh, double skull from Volvo XE. Last reroll gone for the Quetza Quicks. Who have... They were on fire for the first 5 turns of the game, and then to failed rush as well. They can't roll anything in this second half.
My goodness. They cannot indeed.
Triple skull from Johan Franz.
He breaks armor. His own armor.
What is happening?
Well, the Mavericks are refusing to score for some reason. They may get punished for that.
Here comes Volvo XE, and he gets the sack on Ren Redrum. Ball scatters in position for a skink to maybe do something about that. They've got to dodge from tackle is the only problem. For Fiesta gets it done. For Fiesta goes for the pickup and gets a hold of the ball. The Quicks need a draw, remember, to qualify for the Blood Bowl. They have 2 turns to hang on. Here comes Hubert Dankworth. He's free. And Dankworth does not find the knockdown on For Fiesta. Both teams out of rerolls here.
There is diving tackle on the ball because the player carrying the ball has diving tackle, technically speaking.
El Rasco is taken out. He's stunned. There's a one-die pow. That is very, very handy from Pon Dodley. The Quicks are going to be hanging on. But they do have possession of the ball. Taking some blocks. They might help. They might not help. One-die pow from Volvo XE. That is very, very nice on the diving tackle and the armor break. Huge play from Volvo XE. There's going to be a blitz. It's a both down against Dankworth. And the ball is loose. The blitz against the sidestep might have been ill-advised here. Can the Mavericks recover and win the game? Franz is going to make a pass again. He needs to make a pickup first. He's got it on a 6. The pass is good and Dankworth catches it. The Mavericks are going to win. And that is a huge result in the context of which teams will qualify for the post-season Blood Bowl Championship. The Quicks failed to make it, and the Tall Lithanel Rangers will be playing in the Blood Bowl Championship. What a game. The Mighty Zug is dead. Kupal Azteca is dead. And the Quetza Quicks' hopes of qualifying for the Blood Bowl Championship is dead unless they can find a 1-turn touchdown here.
Or the Riot. Because we never see this in the ZFL.
We've got no side. We had the option of going sidestep, stand firm here. But the Mavericks probably do want some players to make it to next season. They haven't got many of them left, but they are about to produce a textbook Miszville Mavericks victory here. There's the kick, and it is cheering fans, which gives us friends with the ref. That's not really handy for the Quicks right now. Here's the blitz then from Bellatrix, and it's double pows. It's not going to be good enough. The Mavericks are going to win this one, and the Tall Lithanel Rangers will go to the Blood Bowl. Pass attempt from Umizoomi here. The one we've all been waiting to see. And he's almost passed it to someone. It fails. And that will be that for both of these teams' seasons. The Miszville Mavericks pick up a win in their final game of the season. And the Quetza Quicks will miss out on a place in the top 3. Now that is a well-deserved MVP.
Indeed it is. Getting him closer to dirty player. Just imagine El Rasco with dirty player. Woo! Woo! Next kill pile driver.
The Mavericks
Farquaad also getting the MVP for his amazing game.
Yeah, that's the sort of player who we might just chuck a random on that and see what happens, I guess, before next season. But the Mavericks getting it done. Despite a really rough start to the game where they took lots of really early injuries and removals, including a death to the mighty Zug, which I think you would describe as not ideal. But they managed to make that comeback in the second half with, well, it was an elaborate stall. I think that's fair to say.
Included basing a rival with the ball, making a pass, and then rolling a triple skull. It was one of the most complex plays we've seen in the ZFL in the entire season. And it worked out.
So it was almost a case then in that fight for the top 3 of nobody wanting to actually take the place, because it was between the Quicks and Defiant for the longest time, and then both those teams lost their last 2 games. And it allowed the Tall Ethanol Rangers to sneak in with a pair of draws. So it's not like the Rangers were in astonishing form to get there. But they did enough. And that's all you can really ask for. Let's take a look then at the ZFL Elite Division table with just 1 game left. We'll come back to the top 2 in a moment. The Tall Ethanol Rangers finish 3rd on 16 points, ahead of the Quetza Quicks on 16 points, Vinscore Defiant on 16 points, and the Miszville Mavericks on 16 points. Defiant beat the Mavericks on head-to-head record, having beaten them 2-0 earlier in the season, which is what claims 5th place for them over the Humans. And 16 points achieved in 3 different ways. We've got a 3-7-1, 2 lots of 4-4-3, and 1 lot of 5-1-5. The bottom half of the table, we already discussed on the last show. The Barakian Boozers finished 7th. The Bilbali Desperados finish 8th, but are actually just a single win away from having finished 3rd. So close was it in the mid-pack. The Red Squigs are 9th. The Bozos, for the 2nd straight season, finish 10th. And the 2 relegated teams are the Sartosa Deckhands and Royal Santa Margherita. Of course, the Howitzer Cup final still to be played between 10th and 11th on Sunday at 18 UTC.